2175 Ea, named after an Asari scientist, this remote planet appears to have been on the list of forbidden mass relays that led to uncharted space. The little data available comes from one far-off probe flyby that reports 2 planets orbiting a white dwarf star. Your own scans yield far more interesting results. The planet is within the habitable zone of the star. It has oceans of liquid water and a thin nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere consistent with carbon-based plant life. It is possible that it is an as yet unexplored garden world. And, well... yeah... go ahead and switch out the collector beam for the projector, because we're going to be facing a lot of mechs on this mission. And that's fine for him.
I detect no life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
On it!
Switch up!
There it is, and mostly intact. They could have survived impact, but it's been years. Looks like it was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
We're probably going to have some stuttering and frame rate drops here. The water looks nice, though. I mean, from a distance. You look up, it's a little, but, you know.
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology. Override. Beacon resumed. Pause time, 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
You heard that, right? It was paused for 8 years. So, oh my gosh, this mission and the logs. For those of you who may not know what's going on here, I should give you a little warning. Some of the stuff here and the implications of what happened here over the past decade is pretty bad and pretty disturbing. So, consider this a viewer discretion is advised, because some of this could be bothersome to you. Just a heads up. That one log right there alone. Oh.
What was her name? Sarah? Suzanne? My God, I can't remember. I can't remember her face. We need to get out. So I can remember. Can think straight. They have to hurry. luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His replacement doesn't command the same level of respect. I'm hoping the man has it in him.
Oh, it's only gonna get worse, my friends. It's only gonna get worse.
Along with this anymore, we've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
Before the bruises show.
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology. Override. Beacon resumed. Pause time, 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as... Record deleted. By Acting Captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
Who is in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital descent. First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in-field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsback is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsback made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity. The Hugo Gernsback then decelerated at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours, following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as... Record deleted.
Come on, let's get going.
My father had a working beacon, but didn't signal for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
It must have after so long.
Yeah. Not really, but we're getting there.
You came? From the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue...
Watch out!
Hunters, they won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape! Hostile!
Did you notice that he was called a feral hunter?
Target them!
Just stay down.
I've got him!
They didn't have neural decay. They were insane.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
Yeah. You're half right, Jacob.
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
Yeah, about that neural decay. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of the horrible truth of what happened here
Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure.
is implied. We don't see any of it because it's been over a long period of time, but it's
Is that a
heavily
settlement?
implied.
They better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
They're from the same group as the ones that attacked us, but these are docile.
Yeah, and they're all female. You notice that?
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently? Makes males get violent.
Possibly, but the female on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop. Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
He has a cruel face. His cruel face. I can't talk to you. I don't want punishing.
Go away. You are like him. You will keep us here.
He keeps us, protects us, and we please him like he demands.
Oh, gosh, that line right there. Oh, I don't even want to think too much about what she just said.
He is bad. He has a bad face like the other. Like him. You'll hurt me.
The hunters will kill you. They fight because he exiled them and waited too long.
You guys picking up on the dark implications of what happened here? Because, yeah, it's pretty dark.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
Oops.
Your captain demands obedience.
There we go! His mechs shoot without question. Not exactly a long-term discipline solution.
Well, that would make them hate him. But maybe it was just for defense.
Please, here. You could end it. You have his face. But you fight his machines. You might stop this. This, I forget how to read. But this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
He wasn't command material and it got to him. Couldn't keep the crew in line without violence.
It didn't stop there. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
That one line there, he said. He separated the women and assigned them to officers like pets. Or... oh, gosh. Like harem girls and... oh, jeez. I don't even want to keep thinking about that. Just, like I said, the horribly dark implications here of this going on for 10 years. Wow. Just wow.
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard, I don't see any justification.
None. None at all.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. And the signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Yeah, that's important to, if you haven't caught that. They fixed the beacon pretty early on. Years ago, they fixed it. Remember, the thing, it was paused 8 years ago. So, within, say, a year or so, or maybe 2 years, they were able to get it fixed. But then they chose not to use it. Because they apparently decided they liked how things were. They liked how things were going here, so why call for help and ruin our fun? Is probably what they were thinking. Right? I like how Shepard even says, or is it as bad as it seems? No, yeah, it's as bad as it seems.
Do you see an explanation for this? He's your father.
Is he? None of this fits. Maybe the initial decision, but the rest? Abuse of power doesn't get any clearer than this. I need to find this man.
What I like about this mission here is that from this point onwards, Jacob starts referring to his dad in a different manner. The farther we go into this, the less he starts referring to him as his father and more as this man. You heard how he said that, right? I need to find this man. Pay attention to how Jacob is going to be saying that for the rest of this mission. Just really pay attention to that. It's one of the times I really like Jacob's voice actor, because I think for the rest of this mission, I think he does a good job of reflecting the way Jacob is starting to see what really happened here and what kind of man his father really was.
This is Captain Ronald Taylor. Thank God you're here. My crew went insane. I only just got free.
God damn it, it's really him. Just got free. He's covering his ass.
Mm-hmm.
The old corpse was posed, like a warning. The new ones were left where they fell.
The hunters started fighting back.
Can't reach the target.
Careful, I automated my defenses after the crew turned violent. They keep attacking.
He had plenty of choices. Too late to blame his victims. Come on over! Shotgun! Staying close.
On your 6.
Can't target them.
Coming!
Taking heavy.
I had to keep them busy, distracted, but it's getting dangerous. Thank God you've come.
He had his fun, and now he wants out. Son of a bitch. Eyes ahead!
Remember, it's not just him. Remember that log we heard earlier about that guy going, you know, what's the harm? I mean, she's so innocent now, right?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
It took years to train my guards. I'm afraid you'll have to fight them to rescue me.
Throwing people away. This thing is not my father. Enemy drone!
I'll light him up.
Gear up!
Okay, so there's the biggin.
Fire in the hole. Gonna blow.
Enough with the toys. I need to look my father in the eye and hear him justify this.
Now, I have heard people talk about how even if they're doing full-on Paragon runs, they cannot bring themselves to do the Paragon choice here. That's how angry this made a lot of people. And very understandably so. Look at this little area he's got all set up here. His own little throne room for his own little kingdom.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've got to have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss. The toxic food turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
By the way, do you guys recognize that voice actor? There's no tape inside. There are no batteries in here. That's Lee from The Walking Dead. And Bluebeard from The Wolf Among Us. Yeah, you guys have probably heard him before, so...
Doesn't matter. You're running a very questionable setup here, Captain. Explain.
Of course. It was chaos after the crash, and the crew never really accepted me as captain. They rebelled and trapped us here. Once they started eating the toxic food, I couldn't control them. And I couldn't get to the beacon.
Just stop. We know what you did to your crew. Why let this go 10 years?
Who the hell are you?
Taylor. Lieutenant Jacob Taylor.
Jacob? My Jacob?
Now everyone knows everything. I want to hear you try and justify this.
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I'd hoped to leave it at that.
I'm not unreasonable, Captain, but 10 years? What happened?
God damn it! Why did you do this to your crew?
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had to take a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, the effect lowered inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, they couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down. Seemed like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the droolers. That was before the hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
You didn't feel any responsibility to get out of here for the sake of family?
I gave him a good start. He was a smart kid and was better off not following me. We figured that out a long time before I took jobs in deep space. And after things escalated here, it seemed best to just disappear off the galactic map.
Till you needed someone to save your ass.
We can help these people. Cerberus can have ships here in days and pull everyone out.
He's not worth the fuel to haul him out or the air he's breathing. He's damn lucky I don't think he's even worth pulling the trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
So this is the choice that I know some players that have said that they cannot even, if they were doing a full Paragon run of this game, and they could not bring themselves to pick the Paragon option here. So the three choices here are, we either take him out of here, have him arrested, and sent to prison to answer for what he's done. We just leave him here which means the hunters get his hands on him and basically tear him to pieces, or we'd give him a gun and have him shoot himself, commit suicide. Now, I personally think that's the easy way out. That he gets to get out of here scot-free, like, alright, I had my fun, bam! He dies, but he gets off easy. Like, the more fitting option to me is to leave him, as it said, leave him in the hell that he made here and suffer the consequences of the hunters now getting their hands on him, like they were trying to do. However, I can think of a way to try and justify the Paragon option here. Because we're going to make sure we have him arrested and sent to the Alliance. And I'm, in my head, what I would imagine Shepard would do is make sure that every single detail about what happened here is known to the Alliance so that he can be a cautionary tale. You remember what Tally was saying about what would happen to her father if he found out that he would be like a ghost story, or rather like a tale that was told to kids as a cautionary tale and stuff like that, like a monster in stories? I'd like to imagine that's what he's going to become. That he is going to be used as a cautionary tale of this is what happens when you decide to play king, I guess, as Jacob said. You know, to warn people, don't ever consider doing this yourselves.
We'll secure him for an Alliance court. For every year here, he'll have 10 to think about it.
Give him all the time in the galaxy. The man who did this doesn't know right from wrong.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I did the best I could.
I'm 10 years past believing that.
And he can rot in a cell thinking about what he did, about what happened here. Survivors from Ea are being treated by Alliance personnel with additional Cerberus support, pleased to see Taylor unharmed psychologically by experience. Jacob Taylor has dealt with his father and is now focused solely on the mission. I like the implication here that the Alliance and Cerberus are working together to help treat those poor women, because oh my gosh, what happened to those women over these past 10 years, I don't even want to think of them trying to somehow recover from this. How do you recover from something like this? 10 years in this horrible place, being forced to eat something that turns you into something you're not, and, well, the logs kind of gave a good story as to what happened there, didn't it? Gosh, I feel for the poor women in this. And there's a message we're going to get later from one of these women that just gets me. Because it's her trying to reach out to Shepard as a thank you and trying to, like, show her recovery, but also as a... It's not that she wants to recover, it's that she wants to recover in order to get back at Taylor.
Alliance ships are inbound to secure Captain Taylor and his crew, Commander. We'll be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give them the tail lights.
Roger that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Nothing goes through this ship, my ship, without a report to you.
I had no more reason to believe Jacob's father was alive than he did, but I'm happy to know the situation is behind you.
Fine. You didn't forward it, so who did?
I did.
Figures. Who else could get into Cerberus channels?
It was hardly classified, just obscure. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol in private. Shepard, Jacob.
You alright, Jacob?
You good with this, Jacob?
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor can rot in prison. Doesn't change who I am or what I know. I've already mourned the man he used to be. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
Yeah, see, this is another reason why I am very much against the idea of the sins of the father. You know, the idea of what if someone comes after Jacob saying, "You were his son and you will pay for what he did." Why? Jacob had nothing to do with what happened over there. So why should Jacob have to pay for that? You know? You get what I mean? It just never... The whole sins of the father thing just never made sense to me. And Jacob's situation with his dad is an example as to why.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this.
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
Yeah, remember, those two, for a period of time, dated. And it didn't, you know, it didn't go well. That's why they parted. But, yeah, they used to be a thing.
Come on, we got work to do.
Aye, Commander. Shepard. Thanks for the help.
Anytime, Jacob.
Alright.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Having trouble working between your interruptions and Edie's insistence that insane experiments endanger entire crew. Hard to concentrate. Affecting morale. Anything else?
I'll let you work.
We'll be here if you need me.
Oh, Morden, you always know how to put a smile on my face. Much sleeker looking uniform there. From Bailey. Hey Shepard, just wanted to let you know that the Drell kid's doing okay. Everything's taken care of legally, and he's doing some work for me, helping me deal with some trash in the wards. Maybe make life better for some of the kids like Mouse. Not perfect, but then what is? Don't know if your Drell and mine are talking. I told him life was too short not to, but I don't know if it took. Good luck out there, Bailey. Yeah, don't worry. They'll stay in contact. We find this out from Thane, I believe, when we first meet him after the 6 months that has been between 2 and 3.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. Maybe not the best way to learn about the relatives, but I'm glad it's done. What do you need?
I'm interested in getting to know you better.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this
later. We'll talk later.
Commander.
Let's make our rounds. Let's go ahead and head down to 4. And talk to Jack.
So, Gabby, what do you think of our new Quarian boss?
Hush, she's right over there.
Ah, she can't hear us with her head in that bucket. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful bucket. The whole suit is lovely, quite snug in all the right places.
You know I can hear you.
Ha.
I mean, he's not even whispering that. He's just... Oh, like, seriously, you think she can't hear you?
Hey. What's happening? You got a lot of questions, don't you? I miss your friendly nature when you're not around.
Been thinking. We've seen a lot of shit together now, and you're always coming to talk to me. It's just, I'm not really a girls' club kind of person. I like you, all right? That's a good place to stop.
That's Jack's way of saying, look, I'm not into girls. Not like that, so... I think we can talk to her one more time, I think. Let's go talk to Thane.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Very well. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Erica. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset eyes defiant in the scope. That was Erica. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles. Not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Hirashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
So how'd she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Erica and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Batarians, a slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the shadow broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Erica woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly, to minimize suffering. I let them linger.
You were operating on instinct. By your own rules, you can't blame yourself.
But I made the choice to hunt them. They're the only lives I've ever taken of my own choice. The only deaths on my own conscience. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Thane, the worst thing is to face death with regrets. You're part of my crew, and I consider you a friend. If there's anything I can help you with, just ask.
I've never been part of a team. Assassins tend to be solitary. I'm learning the virtues of facing death with others at your side. It's a work in progress.
That was, again, the mod kind of working there. You saw the separation, right? It used to not be separated. It really, really irritated me.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Do you have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Alright, I've exhausted Miranda's dialogue. I think that is pretty much everybody. Feed the fish. Okay. We have one left. When we return, we will be heading back to Tuchanka to help Grunt deal with his puberty and become a full Urdnot, which is a pretty fun mission. I got that. I really like the way that mission unfolds. You know, with the dialogue and then the fight and such. I really enjoy that mission. We'll be doing that when we return. Stay tuned.